is so stupid, but we're like 30 minutes in, we're dying, it's a hot class, and the instructor goes, I see we have a comedian in the class, and I'm just like, fuck, this is bad. And she goes, does he want to tell us a joke? And I'm like, I'm in like a pose right now, this is horrible. So I like look to Brian, like, what do I don't know what to do here, and he gives me a look like, I got this, which I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do, but he goes, I'll tell a joke, and the whole room is like, what the fuck? I'm like, we're looking like, what's he gonna do? And he tells my joke. It's an old joke of mine where he goes, my friend's girlfriend just had a miscarriage in the shower. And I was like, oh my God, worst baby shower ever. He tells this to a room full of women, and it is fucking silence. And the instructor just says, well, I'm triggered. And I was like, yeah, that joke usually fucking kills.
You're not going to like this theory.
Okay.
I believe everyone who is an admitted alcoholic sees everyone's drinking problem. I think it's like they're hyper aware of everyone's drinking problem and see everything as a problem. Because it's really hard talking to anyone that's in recovery and not convincing you have a problem. The same way that like when COVID was going around and everyone was like, is that a cough? You got COVID. And like it was like contagious. Right. I think recovery is contagious.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. And whatever. My view on it is that it's like people who have diabetes, they're not mad at sugar and they don't like.
Oh, I think they are. You don't think people with diabetes want to eat sugar?
Well, sugar's not a bad thing. It's just that they can't have it.
Yeah, but I think they live a life where they go, I would love to be able to eat cake at a birthday party.
So the lady behind her, she had a conflict with the lady behind her because she was vaping. You're not supposed to vape at the show.
Hey, here she goes. Can you not vape?
Can you not vape? And she's like, yeah, leave me alone. Yeah.
It's super disrespectful.
And now
the dick comes out?
No, she grabs his dick, but it doesn't come out. Oh, they didn't show that part. Now they asked her to leave. Her and the guy. He's grabbing his head. She's grabbing his dick the whole time.
That is crazy.
But it just reminded me of all the things in an audience where you're like, that's because that couple.
This is the equivalent of, hey, can you keep it down? And they're like, I'm talking to my daughter right now. Like where they tell you what, and you're like, yeah, I don't care. Is blackface that bad?
I've said how I feel about it, but people don't want to hear it.
I do.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think if you're a young kid and you like love a guy like Draymond Green or one of your favorite athletes or even, then I think it's weird. We're almost perpetuating the racism. It feels like to me, I'm also white, you know?
Yeah, sure, I understand.
And so it feels though like at a certain point you would say, oh, this kid can do that. He can idolize a black character because he's not, at a certain point, the malice has gone out of it. It's not like you're making, because they used to have to do it because of the, they didn't allow black people to be in movies. And so they would paint white people black. Right. The minstrel shows and stuff. Or they would sometimes paint,
De Niro, his wife calls me up. This is, no matter how long you've been in business, every mistake in comedy I made. You didn't make it.
Yeah.
Like that lady with the mic, this was me doing that.
Right.
So she goes, Bob's having a 60th birthday party. You do a De Niro impression, which I really didn't, but maybe I did a half-ass one. But she goes, could you come down and just do the impression? So you ever see Ralph Cramner when he goes, I'm going straight for the $99,000 answer. You ever watch The Honeymoon? Mm-hmm. I go, I'll do better than that. I'll do an act. And even she goes like this, like, all right. I mean, we just want the impression. I go, I'll do. Trust me. She's like, all right. So right away, I write an act, a 20-minute act. It's all on paper. You can't memorize an act in 3 days of 20 minutes specific to one person. I write it all out about De Niro.
I was shit-faced on the flight. I got in the next flight, and it was getting into Vermont at like 10:30, so I missed the show. But I was fucking wasted on the Connect flight because I was so cranky. I was like a middle seat last row, which is all they had, so I'm fucking bombed. And I was tweeting at American Airlines like, thanks for calling me Jew boy, fuckers. Like I was just making shit up because I was so drunk. And they tweeted back, we've decided to give you 7,500 points. And then I wrote back, I was so drunk. I was like, you fucking anti-Semites. And they were like, we've decided to give you an additional 7,500 points. And I just picture like N-word, they're like 25,000.
Yeah, they have different tiers.
But Jew boy, they're like, we have to start low because he'll haggle with us. So he has to.
Dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And my mom and dad said, we don't need a house. we're fine right here. And so there was a little piece of property, it was an acre just down the street from where I grew up and where they were living. So I went and bought it secretly, and I took them over there. And my mom said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to build you this house here. Something really special." She goes, "No, my house is fine." She goes, "But if you want to do something, you can put a pool in our backyard." So I put a pool in the backyard and sold my piece of property because they didn't want to move into it. And they lived there till the very end. And when my dad passed recently, I bought the house. And so now I own my house.
Diet sodas, like they have artificial sweeteners. And the way that it was relayed to the layperson was the artificial sweetener might not be sugar, but your body believes that it's sugar. And so when you consume it, you're tricking your body, and you're getting a glucose spike like you would if you were drinking regular soda anyway. And so it turns out it's not even worth it to drink the diet stuff because it's the same as regular soda. And then that became a widely circulated thing that people would say. And the truth is...
So first off, this will be like, of all the comments on this video, this will be the most contentious thing.
Really? You wouldn't necessarily know that, but he's pretty disciplined about what he eats outside of his drinking.
A lot of people don't realize this. Well, I had 7 shots of vodka. It doesn't have any calories. Yeah, it does. It has 7 calories per gram. So like a shot has like anywhere from 60 to 80 calories.
Oh.
So you do like 7 shots, you're talking over 500 calories. So what I would say is, one, so I don't know Bert real well. I know what I've seen on social media and what he's talked about. He loves him some alcohol. And so I think the idea that he's going to be able to cut that out completely for the rest of his life is probably low.
Yeah.
So if he wants to be able to consume that, then that means, one, probably choosing drinks that are as low calorie as you can. Straight liquor is going to be lower calorie. People who replace with water, what it suggests is they're seeking out that sweet taste somewhere else. And so they're compensating for those calories somewhere else. But people who are drinking diet soda, they're not compensating as much for it. And so they're actually getting into a calorie deficit and losing weight. And on every single post I do about this, I'll have people who come on and say, all I did was replace soda with diet soda and I lost 50 pounds.
Right.
You know,
because if you're like a regular Mountain Dew, Coke
You can
drinker,
drink
and you're drinking the
liters of that
regular
stuff.
and like, you know, the people, because there are people who really pound like 10 of those cans a day. And you're like, holy shit, you're doing it the right way. I swear to God, I will be following your example on the next one.
But I just worry, what if I go out of business in a year and then I fucking miss half the dates, you know?
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. The thing is that once you have like what you have going on, you have all these fans that people want to see you. It's like, you don't have to like make it hard on yourself. You can actually